Focus stack. Focus isn't more energy. It's your brain doing one thing without getting dragged away by 10 other thoughts pretending they're urgent. Most people are missing choline. This is what your brain uses to make acetylcholine, one of the main chemicals tied to attention and mental tracking. When it's low, you don't just feel distracted, you feel slippery, like you can't hold a thought long enough to finish it. That's where CDP choline or alpha GPC come in. They don't force focus. They give your brain the material to build the signal. Now, even with a strong signal, focus still collapses if your nervous system is spiking. That's why L-theanine is one of the cleanest focus supplements that isn't actually a stimulant. It helps quiet the background tension that makes your mind bounce. It also makes caffeine feel less like a fistfight. And yes, caffeine still belongs here, just not in the way people use it. A small dose can make tasks feel more worth doing because it pushes dopamine and norepinephrine up a notch. But too much doesn't give you more focus, it gives you more tabs open, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. If you're stressed, underfed, or running on bad sleep, L-tyrosine can help too. It's a building block for dopamine and norepinephrine, which are drained under pressure. On a normal day, you might not feel it. On a my brain is fried kind of day, it can be the difference between starting and staring. Energy stack. Low energy isn't always sleepiness. A lot of the time, it's your brain running on low power while your body keeps demanding full performance anyway. Creatine is one of the simplest fixes that actually makes sense here. Not because it's a workout supplement, because your brain is an energy hog. Creatine helps your cells recycle ATP, the fuel your brain burns nonstop. When it works, it doesn't feel like a jolt. It feels like fewer mental dips, like less buffering and a steadier output. Rhodiola fits when your energy crashes because stress is eating it alive. If you feel tired but also tense, your nervous system is stuck in overdrive. Rhodiola can smooth that out, not by sedating you, by making stress feel less expensive. Caffeine still has a place, just not in the slam it and pray way. Low to moderate caffeine raises dopamine and norepinephrine, which helps your brain feel more engaged. The problem is it can also sharpen anxiety and make you more irritable. That's why L-theanine pairs so well. It doesn't cancel caffeine, it cleans it up. You get the drive without the edge. Tyrosine is useful when you're running on pressure. Stress burns through dopamine chemistry. Bad sleep does too. Tyrosine is the raw material your brain uses to rebuild that system. On a calm day, you might not notice it. On a high-demand day, it can keep you from mentally collapsing by noon. Energy isn't about more. It's about fixing the reason your brain keeps downshifting. Mood stack. Mood is one of the most misunderstood stacking goals because people treat it like a personality issue. It's usually chemistry and wear and tear. A strong mood stack has two jobs: stabilize the baseline and stop your brain from swinging so hard from tiny triggers. Magnesium is a quiet workhorse here, especially magnesium glycinate or taurate. Magnesium helps calm the nervous system and supports hundreds of brain reactions. When you're low, you don't always feel cramps. You feel more reactive, more tense, more easily annoyed by things that shouldn't matter, like a phone with 3% battery but emotionally. Omega-3 helps, mainly EPA heavy fish oil. EPA in particular shows up in a lot of research around mood support. This isn't a quick fix. It's more like slowly improving the quality of the wiring. Then there's vitamin D, not because sunlight is magical, because low D levels are linked with low mood and low motivation. A lot of people spend most of their life indoors now, so their baseline is lower than they think. They feel off, but they assume it's just adulthood. If your mood issues lean anxious or edgy, L-theanine works here again. It helps the brain stop scanning for threats all day. If your mood issues lean flat and unmotivated, tyrosine can help support drive. And if you want one supplement that consistently punches above its weight for mood, it's saffron extract. Sounds fake. Works surprisingly often. It's one of the few mood supplements with real data behind it. Stress stack. Stress isn't always panic. A lot of the time, it's just your brain stuck in on mode. You're not freaking out. You're just never fully off. The goal of a stress stack isn't to knock you out or make you numb. It's to bring your nervous system back into a normal range so you can think clearly while still getting things done. Magnesium is the backbone again, especially glycinate for calm or taurate if you also get a racing heart feeling. When magnesium is low, your brain burns through stress faster. You feel more wired, more irritable, and more sensitive to everything. Even normal life starts feeling loud. L-theanine is especially useful here. It helps your brain stop treating everything like an emergency without making you foggy. It's one of the cleanest, calm but functional supplements. It doesn't flatten you. It just takes the edge off the mental noise so you can focus without feeling hunted. Then you have the heavy hitter, ashwagandha. This is for people whose stress is chronic. Not a bad day, a bad season. Ashwagandha can reduce cortisol and help your system stop running so hot all the time. The trade-off is real. For some people, it works beautifully, and for others, it dulls emotions a little too much. If you take it and feel like you don't care about anything, congrats, you overcorrected. If your stress shows up physically, tension, headaches, jaw clenching, glycine helps. It supports inhibitory signaling in the brain and can make your body feel less tight. Stress stacks work best when they don't fight your brain. They just stop it from overreacting. Memory stack. Memory problems don't always feel dramatic. Sometimes it's just walking into a room and forgetting why, reading the same paragraph twice, forgetting a name 5 seconds after hearing it, or realizing you've been living on autopilot all week. A memory stack focuses on two things: building better signal strength and protecting the brain from slow damage that makes recall worse over time. The first anchor is omega-3s, especially an EPA plus DHA blend. Your brain is literally made of fat. When the membrane quality is poor, signaling gets sloppy. This is one of the least exciting supplements, and one of the most consistently useful. Then comes creatine again. Memory isn't just about brain power, it's energy. Your brain has to hold information, update it, and retrieve it. That costs fuel. Creatine helps keep the system powered, especially if you're underslept or mentally drained. For sharper recall and learning, CDP choline fits well here. Acetylcholine plays a major role in memory formation. When choline support is low, it's harder to lock in new information. You can still understand things, they just don't stick. Now for the one most people don't expect, Bacopa. Bacopa is a plant extract with decent evidence for memory support over time. The catch is, it's slow. This is not a feel-it-today supplement. It's a your brain feels more stable after a few weeks supplement. If Bacopa feels too sedating for you, lion's mane is another option. Lion's mane is popular for nerve growth and cognitive health. The science is still catching up, but anecdotally, people report better recall. Cognitive stack. This stack is for when your brain works, but it feels messy. You can think. You just can't think cleanly. Clarity comes from three things: steady energy, low inflammation, and a nervous system that isn't running a background panic program. Creatine earns a spot because thinking is expensive. Your brain burns fuel nonstop, and when energy is low, clarity is the first thing to get cut. Creatine supports cellular energy recycling. When it helps, you feel less mental drag, less buffering. Omega-3s belong here too. If the membrane quality is poor, signaling gets sluggish. A solid EPA plus DHA fish oil won't make you feel like a genius overnight. It just makes the system run cleaner over time. Magnesium fits because a tense brain wastes processing power. If your nervous system is constantly braced, clarity drops. Magnesium glycinate is the most common choice because it supports calm without feeling like a sleep pill. Now the quick clarity lever. L-theanine. This is one of the few supplements that can make your thoughts feel more organized within an hour. Less noise, less mental clutter, more, I can actually do the thing. If your brain fog hits hardest under pressure, tyrosine can help. Stress burns through dopamine and norepinephrine. Tyrosine gives your brain the raw material to rebuild them so you don't mentally fade halfway through the day. This stack doesn't add intelligence, it removes friction. Sleep stack. Sleep is the ultimate brain stack, because if your sleep is trash, every other supplement is basically trying to mop up water while the sink is still overflowing. A good sleep stack has one job: shut down the awake signals without making you feel drugged. And, you guessed it, magnesium is the base, especially glycinate. It helps your nervous system stop gripping so hard. People think magnesium is for cramps. Meanwhile, half the population is walking around tense for no reason and calling it my personality. Glycine is one of the most underrated sleep tools. It helps lower core body temperature slightly and supports inhibitory signaling in the brain. Translation: your body stops fighting sleep like it's a threat. It also tends to make sleep feel deeper, not just longer. If your brain won't stop talking, L-theanine fits perfectly here. It's not a sedative. It's more like turning the volume down so sleep can actually show up. It's especially useful if you have that mentally wired feeling. Then there's apigenin. This is one of the compounds found in chamomile, but in a more concentrated form. It supports calm and can make falling asleep easier without the heavy next-day grogginess that some sleep supplements cause. If your problem is waking up at 3 a.m. and feeling alert for no reason, inositol can help. It supports nervous system balance and can reduce the middle-of-the-night brain startup effect. Sleep stacks work best when they feel subtle. If you feel knocked out, you didn't build a stack. You built a sedative. All in one stack. This stack is for people who want brain support without turning their kitchen into a supplement museum. It's not designed to hit one goal hard. It's designed to make your baseline better across the board. Focus, mood, stress tolerance, mental clarity, and sleep quality, with as few moving parts as possible. The core of an all-in-one stack is omega-3s plus magnesium glycinate. Omega-3s support brain structure and signaling over time. Magnesium supports nervous system stability. Together, they raise the floor. Less tension, less brain noise, less, "why do I feel off for no reason?" Creatine is the next piece because the brain is an energy hog. When energy support improves, mental stamina improves. The effect isn't hype, it's durability. You don't crash as easily, you don't fade as fast. Vitamin D belongs here because modern life makes low levels common, and low levels tend to show up as low mood, low motivation, and low resilience. People will try 5 nootropics before fixing the vitamin that quietly runs the background. Then there's L-theanine, the flexible tool. It supports calm focus, smooths caffeine, and lowers mental static. It's one of the few supplements that can fit into almost any day without pushing you too far in one direction. One bonus ingredient that still keeps the stack simple, CDP-choline, is the clean ad. It supports acetylcholine and mental tracking, especially if your brain tends to feel slippery and scattered. That's the daily driver. Fewer ingredients, higher consistency, and no weird side quests. If you want to build one of these stacks without guessing, I put the exact supplements linked below. The clean versions that actually match what we talked about. And if you want the full foundation behind all of this, what supplements are, how they work, check out all of Supplement Science Explained next.